Can you imagine how I felt? Sitting across the table from one of the most brilliant executives I'd ever met. And I was trying to think of a way to tell him, your speech is getting boring. Now think, how would you have told the executive that news? Well, let's put our meeting into context. A couple of months before, Pat, who was the executive in charge of HR, who was in charge of this project, said, Patricia, as you know, we have a very important national sales meeting. We are bringing 1,500 salespeople from around the world. 40% of them have been acquired. And we need them to know you are with the right company at the right time. Our strategy is sound and your career will be good. The work you've done getting our executives ready and our engineers has been fabulous. We'd like you to work with our president. He's a lovely man, an engineer, very smart, French, little shy. He's not a bad speaker, but we don't have any rock stars. Can you turn him into a corporate rock star? And you've got 4 hours. I walked into the meeting and said, how do you do? If you had one sentence rather than 45 minutes, what would you say? He said, this is a brand new company. I said, write that down. That's your opening line. Welcome to a brand new company. Now, who decided this was going to be a new company? He said, the board of directors. Well, where were you? Boardroom in Paris. Well, what does it look like? Who said what to whom? He said, Arnold, who's been on our board for 10 years, said, Bernard, what can we do once and forever to grab the market share? He said, I told them we could do this, that, or take the boldest move ever and buy our competitor. And as we conversationally talked through his presentation, he was talking about the strategy, and I said, Bernard, when was the first time you understood the importance of strategy? He said, I was a 14-year-old ball boy before the French Open. And people came in to see the French Open. They didn't realize they were going to watch the ball boys. And he said, my opponent was my best friend, and our talents were equally matched. And in this case, the ball boys were girls. And at 14, that's enough of a distraction. But our ball boy girl was my friend's sister, and she was throwing the balls in a way to sabotage my game. So, Patricia, that's when I started working out the importance of having a strategy. And I said, you have to tell your audience that. And he asked the question that most executives ask. Did they want to hear these stories? And I said, of course. Because it's important that all your sales professionals can see the person behind the position. And we were doing magnificently well, and then we got to the point that was boring. He was talking about corporate citizenship. There'd just been a tsunami, and the company said, for any of the salespeople who want to make a donation, the company would match it. The salespeople donated $360,000. The company matched it. And here was a wonderful, generous man who truly believed in the importance of helping your community and the world that you serve. But how to make that segment of his speech exciting? Well, you don't ever tell an executive it's boring. What I did instead was say, Bernard, how do you explain corporate citizenship to your children? And he said, Patricia, it was the day after Christmas, and I sat both my children down and said, you are very lucky children. You have very generous parents and even more generous grandparents. And perhaps you would like to give us one of your gift certificates or one of your presents, and we'll take the money and give to the children who no longer have homes. He said, I was so proud of my 14-year-old son. He came to me the next morning and said, Papa, how much do I give? Because I could give you all of my savings and all of my pocket money and all of my Christmas presents, and it still wouldn't be enough to make a difference. What do I give? And he said, I told him, oh, you never give it all. You just give enough that it hurts a little.